Hello friend, this is Dr. Anil. Today we are going to be discuss very important concepts. We are going to be discuss today Python object as well as Python class. So here let's begin with the Python classes first. So for understanding the Python classes, Python objects, you have to understand what is the Python classes. So a Python class, a class is like an objects. It's very like an objects constructor, or you can say it is a blueprint for creating an objects. So what is a Python classes? Python classes is nothing but a blueprint of creating an objects, right? You can take the example of so many examples. You can take the example of here we have defined one classes. The name of classes is the student class, right? So here you can see that this classes is having two very important two important things. Class consists of data, this is the data, and it consists of functions. So this data, the class which consists of two things, which is a data and which is a functions. So data may be the student data, it may be this is the data attribute, name, age, marks, roll number. This is your attribute, this is your data in this class, right? And this is the functions, and these functions may be either student can perform read function or write functions. So this class is having two important things, which is the data and functions. So in the Python programming, while defining the class, we are using the separate syntax, that is a class. We can define the class, which is a student class. It consists of the data of the student data, which is roll number, name or marks. This is called instance variables, right? And it also consists of functions, which is a read functions or write functions. So for defining any functions, we are using in the Python program, we are using def. We are using def in functions. We are using the def for defining the your functions. So here the read function and write functions we are performing, and here just we are printing the value of read and write. So this is my classes. So in these classes we are having data as well as we are having functions. We want to find out the access of the information of the student in this class. So here for accessing the information of the student informations, we require an objects. So student, in the class of student, we can access the informations with the help of objects. So here you can see that for these students, which is having the name Keswati, branch ECE, roll number this one, right? And it is performing read and write. So this is one of the students, right? So S1 is one of the object which can be so object is a reference. Object is nothing but reference in the class to find out the student informations. In this class you are having you must having different objects based on these data attributes, because if the age will be different, name will be different, marks will be different, this object will be different. So this time the object is Keswati. If the name, age or marks will be different, the name of object may be S2. So here we can define the object which is S1. So what is the Python syntax for defining the objects? So objects, with the help of objects in the class, we are getting the informations, right, of the students. So here we can directly print the information about the students. Now, so what is Python objects? An object is simply a collection of data variables. You can say that this is your data variables, or sometimes it is called instance variables, right? And a method is what, with the help of whether it is performing read operation or write operations, right? So a Python object is an simply a collection of data variables and method that act as an on those data. See here, right? So hope you are getting the points, right? So object means we can easily find out the informations from the class, right? So here you can see that based on this instance of the data variables, we can find out this object is a whether Keswati or some other person. So like that you can find out the objects. So there are three characteristics of Python objects which is very unique in the Python programming. First one is identity, second one is type, and third one is the value. So what is the in identity? So identity is a unique identifier which identify the objects, right? So any identity is a unique identifier of any objects, and it can be obtained by using inbuilt functions in the Python